Good morning, economic developers. This is the live morning show for economic developers with Chad and Alec today. Alex may join us in a little bit. I'm surprised he's not here. His football picks on our show are 2-0, so you know he's going to be celebrating. Stop right now while you're 100%. But we'll wait just a second while people trickle in. Allie, I didn't think we'd have any news to talk about the last part of December, but my gosh, there's a lot of news economic development wise. We're going to go over some huge announcements today. I know up where you live, you're in Kentucky today, there's all kind of news over Ford Blue Oval's project, and now what they were doing in both Kentucky and Tennessee. They were building EV battery plants and I guess also selling them, I guess. Mm-hmm. And they made some huge announcements yesterday regarding those. So that's...
Yeah, your Wi-Fi was kind of glitching a little bit.
Yeah, it says I'm unstable. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on with it here?
I can hear you.
I was just saying we got a lot of news in economic development between these big announcements, and then also what's going on with Ford Blue Oval up in Tennessee and Kentucky. We're not going to really talk about that today, but probably tomorrow. We're probably going to devote an entire show to it because there's a lot of angles to really think about.
Yeah, like I know you and I just texting over the weekend whenever the Jackson area one was announced. It just feels like there's more details that come out every single day about it. So yeah, we definitely want to be sure that we're getting everything straight, and we'll talk about that soon.
Awesome. Well, it looks like you're in Kentucky today. I can tell from your setting. So, when are you headed to Florida?
Yes, I'm in Kentucky today at my dad's. Had to drop my crew of animals off up here, and then I'm heading down to Miami. I'm on like the super early flight in the morning so that I land before our clients wake up in the morning. So I'll be down there.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, flying down there. Early in the morning, and then I fly back on Sunday afternoon. So I'll be back in Nashville Sunday for a couple days.
Well, I have always, since I started Next Move with Alex, given our employees the entire week of Christmas and New Year. So this week we pretty much got 2 weeks off because the Christmas hits on Wednesday, which that's my favorite when it hits in the middle. I hate it when it's on like Saturday. So we're basically going to have 2 weeks off coming up.
Yep. That'll be nice.
All right, well, let's see. Let's go ahead and get started. And, folks, there were some huge industrial announcements yesterday. And so for these, I'm not going to just rush through them fast. I'm going to read you a little bit about them. So one was Korea Zinc in Clarksville, Tennessee, announced yesterday. I'm going to pull up an article and read to you this announcement. This was December 15th. There are 2 mineral-related announcements. So I don't know if they're related in any way. It's just interesting they announced the same day. But yesterday, Korea Zinc marks the first refiner investment in the United States in 40 years will manufacture materials provided from overseas sources, advancing domestic supply chain resilience and national manufacturing capacity. $6.6 billion investment in Clarksville, 420 new jobs in Clarksville. So it looks like it's going to have a $288 million benefit to Montgomery County over 20 years, 420 jobs. The jobs are going to range from $83,000 to $196,000 in salaries, much less the construction announcements. And so it looks to me like they're going to be, it says, refining materials currently provided from overseas. So a lot of our critical metals, zinc, nickel, these type things have been being imported from overseas. And this is very important for national defense that some of this be manufactured right here in the United States. So that was one project announcement yesterday.
Yeah, I think that was the largest in Tennessee state history, too, with the largest foreign investment in the state.
Well, I got that. Literally an hour later, I received this announcement from Louisiana. So ElementUSA is investing $850 million in Louisiana to create 754 new jobs. They're going to source materials from nearby industrial facilities, and this is to advance the U.S. critical minerals supply chain. So same type project. Looks like this one is going to the Gramercy, Louisiana area, which is in St. James Parish in Louisiana. So kind of between Baton Rouge and New Orleans on the Mississippi River, if you can imagine. They're going to create 200 new jobs with an average salary of $90,000 a year. Michael Hecht, who runs the Greater New Orleans Inc., his quote is, ElementUSA's investment in Gramercy is a game changer for the region, strengthening Louisiana's role in advanced manufacturing while securing a domestic supply of critical minerals used in defense operations. And so that's what you're seeing with both of these projects is the reshoring of the processing of the metals. So even if you mine, rare nickel, let's say, you still have to process it based on a lot of these metals are needed for all these battery projects and the data centers that you're seeing around. The governor of Louisiana said ElementUSA's investment marks a step in strengthening America's critical mineral supply chain. Project advances essential mineral production in the U.S. and positions Louisiana's workers and communities at the forefront. Here we go. ElementUSA will use this proprietary process to extract gallium, scandium, iron, and other critical minerals from the 30 million tons of bauxite residue, which is the byproduct of the alumina refining process. Mm. So they're going to basically take byproduct of alumina refining and use their process to extract gallium, scandium, iron, and other critical minerals. So you're seeing announcements like just very interesting but these do not appear to be related whatsoever. But it's interesting that both of these came out basically in the same day. And Allie, we did a strategic plan for Beulah, North Dakota, their area. It actually won an award from IEDC for their size population, one of the better strategic plans. And they're sitting up there in that part of North Dakota on all kind of nickel, and which is very much needed in batteries. So that's a great area. I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing an announcement like that coming out. But I think a lot of these are being driven from obviously the pandemic. We saw as a country we need to reshore, but also the battery projects for the data centers. All are needing metals. But any of these type projects are going to be huge capital investments. And good paying jobs. Also, so that covers the metals one. Mississippi had an announcement yesterday. Like I said, I would have thought in December you'd have all these announcements. Amick Farms, which is a premium poultry processor, is adding 190 new jobs and a $74 million investment in Laurel, Mississippi. So this is pretty close to where I grew up.
I was going to ask.
So this company is. What's that?
I was going to ask if I'm sure I knew that you would know where Laurel was, but I was going to ask if it was close to Waynesboro or not.
Yeah, I'm from the town next door, okay. But my dad's family, a lot of them trace back to Laurel. My dad was one of 10, so many of them ended up in Laurel, and Dad's outlived 9 of his brothers and sisters. Half the funerals in Laurel, that I was in. But so I'm very pleased to see that expansion. 190 jobs, that's a lot of jobs nowadays. As much stuff is automated.
Yeah.
So that is a very, very nice size project. I will tell you, Mississippi has announced a ton of site development grants. So let me go find them here on my screen. Allie, look up while I'm looking for these site development grants where that project in Clarksville is going, if you don't mind.
Okay.
I'm sure you'll be able to find. I'm just curious if it's going out on their
the Zinc one.
In their main. Yeah. Look and see if you can see where that Zinc one's going. In Mississippi, the governor's announced $100 million in investment, basically in economic development, infrastructure, workforce, site preparation across the country. And so I think this is something that a lot of states, need to look at. It's no wonder Mississippi's winning with the commitment they have. Just to give you a few examples, and so some of these are state dollars, others are federal, like the Delta Regional Authority or ARC, but all announced by the governor either yesterday or Friday. So there's a site in Marshall County. The state's putting $8.5 million in to purchase 1,100 acres, coming up with a 1,200-acre site. In Tate County, they're spending $400,000 on road improvements, utility line improvements. In Tupelo, $2 million for site grading to construct an elevated building pad and stormwater detention pond. In Marion County, $900,000 for clearing and grubbing and a wastewater capacity study. So, this is just getting sites ready to go. There's not a lot of great sites out there right now that are ready to go. And so what Mississippi's doing, Rankin County, Mississippi, $4.8 million for clearing, grubbing, drainage improvements, wetlands mitigation. Mississippi are getting sites ready to go. And it's something that I think that a lot of states can learn from. I'm not going to say copy, but it's definitely the way to do this. Did you have any success figuring out where that project?
So it looks like this one's going to go on Moore Road in Clarksville. I'm not sure if that's their big industrial park. I can't remember if that's where it is or not. But then they're also they're additionally putting in. It says the move also includes a new production facility in Gordonsville that will create 320 jobs in Smith County.
All right, let's see. Oh, okay. I just found a new article on it. Korea Zinc to buy Nirestar, build $6.6 billion smelter, create 420 jobs.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I'm reading right now.
It's going to be the U.S. headquarters. Yeah. Oh, you're reading the one about the Gordonsville production. Looks like this is going to be the only such plant like this in the U.S. 6.99 million square foot facility. It's going to be a 7 million square foot facility, Allie.
I'm telling you, because obviously I have to drive through Clarksville to get to my dad's in Paducah, and just, it's crazy, just everything. I mean, yeah, Clarksville and the teams there, they've really ramped it up in the last couple of years. Just the huge announcements that they have. It seems like every time I get on LinkedIn or open my email, they're announcing something new and large scale.
Clarksville is actually a great example, Allie, of the Ford Blue Oval projects that we're going to talk about probably tomorrow or Thursday when we devote a whole show to it. Clarksville in 2008 or 9 landed a big project. I don't remember the name of it now. 20 years ago. It was something to do with solar. Solar roofing panels or something. I don't remember what it was. And they got all the infrastructure put in, and then the solar business tanked, and the company never opened. And I literally remember articles in Tennessee being written criticizing them and criticizing the mayor. The governor. I think it was Phil Bredesen at the time. How dare they go out and do this deal and all. Fast forward 10 years, and in that same industrial park, they had landed Samsung. They had landed all kind of industries. Worked out way better in the long run. Yeah. It probably would have never done it if they hadn't invested that infrastructure, for the project that embarrassed them all. And, 20 years later, they're a raging success. But it's kind of interesting to see that. But again, we're going to have an entire show devoted to what's going on in Tennessee and Kentucky with the Ford Blue Oval EV projects. Probably tomorrow, maybe Friday. We want Alex on here for those.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
Alex. I didn't know you were here. I was bragging on you.
You said his name and he popped on.
I was bragging on you going 2-0 earlier in your picks. So we'll get to those in just a second. One more project I want to talk about. Compal Electronics, a Taiwanese electronics company, is establishing a major presence in Taylor, Texas. 1,000 local jobs going to Taylor, Texas when it comes to that. And then Tulane has made some, let me find Michael Hecht, who runs the Greater New Orleans Inc., sends out a Sunday newsletter. And so Tulane, which is the university, I guess right now they're in the news with the football, but Tulane is basically taking it on themselves to redevelop some parts of downtown New Orleans that have been empty since Katrina. So Charity Hospital, which is kind of right when you come into the city, it's very close there to the Superdome, Poydras Street, Canal Street. For years, 20 years, they talked about what are we going to do? This big hospital just sitting there empty. Tulane has actually made an announcement that they're going to be the anchor tenant and redevelop that hospital into everything from healthcare to residential to commercial, so on and so forth. So Tulane's going to occupy more than half of the 1 million square foot structure, with the remaining space slated for residential and commercial uses. This project is designed not only to modernize a landmark building, but also to create a dense, connected district where research, education, housing, and startups coexist. This is a lesson that I think we can learn in our small towns. Healthcare is the driver. And so if you're trying to redevelop whether you're in a big city like New Orleans or a small town, if you can get some healthcare assets in your downtown. I'm aware of a town that moved their physical therapy to their downtown area. And just that move popped up coffee shops and restaurants, because you had people going down there. So that's obviously a small scale compared to what Tulane is doing. But that's one way you can go about retrofitting some buildings is looking at your healthcare providers. So, Alex, before we get into the career news, you went 2-0 on your picks. This pick was a little easier than your last one. So, you got any picks for tonight, or is it too early in the week?
Easier, but the first half they were down pretty good, but the second half played out how I was expecting. So, no, nothing tonight. Football is kind of winding down. I made a couple plays on the NFL this weekend, but those lines have already moved. So we'll see if we can't get something later in the week that's a line available for everybody and try to go 3-0.
We got a bowl game tonight. Troy and Jacksonville State are playing in, I think, Montgomery. I think the game's in Montgomery, so that ought to have a decent crowd because it's so close to both of them. And I believe it's a 1-point spread, so that game can probably go either way. Let me tell you a little bit about Next Move Group. We exist to create economic growth for small to mid-sized companies, communities, and nonprofit organizations. So a few ways we can help economic developers. If you need board training or annual meeting speaking or anything like that, half-a-day workshops. Did one last week in Metter, Georgia that seemed to go very well. So call us on those. This is a good time of the year to start planning all that for next year. Another product that we're seeing a lot of people have interest in is we have housing demand studies where we can show you how many houses you need by price points, both for sale and rent over the next 5 years. Interest rates ticked down last week, so this might be the first time in a while to actually go attack the housing situation. So you can learn more about us at thenextmovegroup.com or call us at 1-800-764-3105 after the show, and we will see if we can help you. Let's roll now into some career job opportunities. Allie, I think you said that someone in Florida was retiring, so why don't you go over that one, and then I'll go over the few new jobs that have been posted that I'm aware of.
Yeah, so Susan, Bradenton EDC President and CEO, Sharon Hillstrom, she's been there for 14 years. She announced her retirement on Friday, so they're going to be looking to fill her large shoes.
I think she was there 18 years. She may have only had the main job 14. I'm not positive on that. She's been there a long time.
Oh, yeah,
Is that the economic development or chamber?
Economic development.
Economic development, yeah.
And Bradenton's in that Tampa area, isn't it?
Yeah, just across the Sky Bridge from St. Pete.
Yep.
Okay. Great area there. There's a few jobs that have been posted to the market. The Berwyn Development Corporation in Berwyn, Illinois is seeking an executive director of economic development. Jobs posted from 150 to 175. Columbia, Missouri is seeking an assistant director of economic development. Jobs posted from 90 to 100. So we actually placed the director of economic development in Columbia. We also have placed the head of the utilities and the electric, if I remember. So now they're searching for an assistant director of economic development, 90 to 100,000, Columbia, Missouri. Of course, that's where the University of Missouri is. Great location. You have all of the assets of a major university town. You're halfway between Kansas City and St. Louis. You're close to the state capital of Jeff City. So that should be very, very good. And Millbrae, California is seeking a community development director. That pay is going to be up to $225,000. Millbrae, California Community Development Director, pay of up to $225,000. So feel free to call us for any of those, and we can send you the links and show you how to apply. I know, Allie, we filled was it Westlake, Texas? What was the role we filled last week?
Yeah, it was the Public Works and Utilities Superintendent role for Westlake Hills, Texas. It's a very beautiful suburb on a lake outside of probably 10, 15 minutes from Austin, Texas. So, yeah.
And we're doing a second. So last week we filled 2 public works positions, that one in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee's utilities COO position. I was on a call yesterday, Allie, with Talladega County and McKenzie. Sounds like we're launching that job profile today or tomorrow. So the Talladega County, Alabama economic development job will be on the market today or tomorrow. You'll be getting that from us. I believe we're going to accept applications through the end of January because obviously over the Christmas holidays, not many people apply. Well, that's all I have for today. Y'all got anything else to add?
Alex, playing
No,
catch up?
but hopefully I didn't miss too much hopping on late. Just ready to get going on a Tuesday. It's pretty cold down here, so I'm hopefully
It's
this
cold.
cold's going to break tomorrow.
It's cold here too. Well, yes, either tomorrow or Thursday we're going to do a show and basically talk only about the projects in Tennessee and Kentucky, the Ford Blue Oval projects. They were designed for electric vehicles, both battery production and assembly, and they've had all kind of announcements this week of changing what they're doing because of the electric vehicle model and so forth. So there's all kind of opinions and articles and this and that and the other. We're going to give you our opinion either tomorrow or Thursday. So look forward to that, and we will see you later. Thank you so much.